Hi, my name is Andy Stern. I've been Chief Financial Officer at PCE since October 2019. PCE was started with support from San Mateo County with a grant of $300,000 in early 2015, followed by an $800,000 grant later that same year. PCE launched service in the spring of 2016, supported by loans from San Mateo County and Barclays Bank. Both loans were not due until 2021, but both were paid in full by the end of 2017 following a successful launch. Subsequently, PCE has received investment grade ratings from Moody's and Fitch. PCE's fiscal year runs from July 1 through June 30th of each year, consistent with most other government agencies. The Audit and Finance Committee represents one of the board's two standing committees. It is made up of 5 members and is scheduled to meet 6 times each year. Those meetings are focused on review of quarterly financial performance and cash management investments. Also, the committee reviews and directs staff regarding draft budgets in advance of presentation to the full board and meets with our independent auditors near the end of the annual audit. This is a table of the past 4 years of financial performance ending in June 2020. Fiscal year 2016-17 was the first year of operation, showing revenue of approximately $93 million. Much less than the $278 million in the most recent year ended June 2020. You can also see that the change in net position was in excess of $48 million in each of the past 3 years. That performance contributed to PCE's ending cash balance of $210 million as of June 30th, 2020. Days cash on hand, which measures financial reserves, was well above the current policy of 180 days. We will talk more about that in a few slides. This slide shows the current fiscal year 2021 budget that was approved by the board in June of 2020 and a projection of the financial performance over the following 4 years. As you can see, when this was reviewed by the board, the change in that position over the next 4 years was expected to already be substantially less positive than PCE's recent performance that we saw in the prior slide. The primary reason for this is a substantial increase in the PCIA rate that has the effect of reducing revenues to PCE. You can learn more about the PCIA rate in other training modules, including how it is derived and the significant impact it has on PCE's rates and revenues. At this point, total PCIA charges to PCE's customers are approximately $160 million per year. Since PCE credits its customers for the PCIA that PG&E charges them, our revenues are reduced by the same amount. PCE's revenues are also directly affected by electricity rates set by PG&E, since we set our rates to be 5% below PG&E's rates. Staff attempts to continually monitor and forecast all rates that affect its revenues on an ongoing basis. As a result of recent forecasts of electricity usage, the local economy, and the PCIA and PG&E generation rates, the current forecast for fiscal year ending June 2021 is expected to be slightly positive. However, PCE's financial forecast is less rosy over the next few years compared to historical levels, and at this point we expect to incur a loss of more than $13 million in fiscal years 2022 and 2023. Despite those projected losses, we currently expect to be able to continue to offer our 5% discount to customers while maintaining our financial reserves above the level required by our policy. As a result of solid financial performance over the past few years, our cash reserves have grown substantially. At this point, we have split our funds to be managed by 2 outside investment managers who invest according to our investment policy in safe investment. This is a table of cash balances over the past few years. In the last column, you can see that at the end of December 2020, PCE had approximately $170 million in the 2 investment accounts that I just described, and a total of nearly $223 million in total cash. However, approximately $32 million was restricted, yielding approximately $191 million in unrestricted cash at the end of December 2020. Although PCE has policies and practices that are designed to mitigate volatility, the energy markets can be highly unpredictable, especially with climate change. Having substantial financial reserves enables PCE to maintain a contingency in the event of significant volatility and provides comfort to electricity providers and developers that we must procure energy from on behalf of our customers. Adequate reserves provide similar comfort to rating agencies who, in turn, provide an independent assessment to potential vendors so that they will provide PCE with better contract terms and prices that can be passed along to our customers. Our current policy requires us to maintain at least 180 days of unrestricted cash on hand at all times. This table summarizes our cash reserves. As of December 31, 2020, we had approximately $191 million, matching the number of 2 slides ago. That amount represents 275 days of cash on hand, well in excess of the 180 days that our board policy requires. Our current expectation is that we will likely end the fiscal year near that same level, although it is expected to drop in the next few years from revenue pressures incurred as a result of the PCIA. That concludes our summary of finance and budget management at PCE. Please feel free to reach out directly to me with any questions. Thanks for your time.